The Endeavour cruised quietly through the vastness of space, its sensors sweeping the surrounding systems as the crew carried out routine maintenance and survey tasks. Dr. Amanda Taylor, the ship's chief science officer, sat hunched over her console, meticulously analyzing the latest data streams. Though the mission had been uneventful thus far, she couldn't shake a nagging feeling that something extraordinary was just beyond their reach. Suddenly, the sensor array detected a faint energy signature, unlike anything the Endeavour had encountered before. Taylor's fingers flew across her console, triangulating the source. "Captain, I'm picking up a reading. It's unlike anything in our database. It's emanating from a nearby asteroid field, but the signature is ancient." The captain stroked his chin, his brow furrowed in concentration. "Ancient, you say? Patch it through to the main viewer. Let's take a closer look." As the image materialized on the bridge's main display, the crew leaned forward, transfixed. Nestled amidst the drifting rocks and debris was a massive, enigmatic structure, clearly artificial, yet unlike any technological relic they had ever seen. "By the stars," the captain breathed. "What is that thing?" Taylor's eyes widened as she studied the readings. "I'm not sure, but the energy patterns are off the charts. This is no ordinary artifact. It's radiating power on a scale I've never encountered." She paused, her expression one of both wonder and trepidation. "If my calculations are correct, this could be the legendary human device." A hush fell over the bridge as the crew processed her words. The human, a term whispered in reverent tones across the galaxy, referenced only in the most obscure historical records and ancient alien myths. It was said to be a technological marvel, a weapon of unimaginable power created by a long-extinct alien civilization. Many dismissed it as mere fantasy, the stuff of tall tales and fanciful speculation. Until now. "Captain, we have to retrieve that artifact," Taylor said, her voice urgent. "The implications of its discovery are staggering. It could change the balance of power in the galaxy. We can't let it fall into the wrong hands." The captain considered her words, his jaw set in a hard line. "You're right. Helm, take us in, but keep the engines hot and the weapons systems on standby. I have a feeling we're about to stir up a hornet's nest." As the Endeavour maneuvered cautiously towards the massive structure, Taylor felt a surge of adrenaline. This was the opportunity of a lifetime, to uncover the secrets of the legendary human device. But she couldn't shake the sense of unease that crept up her spine. What had become of the civilization that created such a powerful technology? And what forces might now be seeking to possess it? The crew worked quickly, deploying a team of highly trained specialists to secure the artifact and prepare it for transport. Taylor oversaw the delicate operation, her eyes scanning the readings with a mixture of scientific curiosity and growing trepidation. "Captain, the artifact is more than just a technological marvel. It's an entire self-contained system, with layers of shielding and safeguards we're only just beginning to understand. I've never seen anything like it." The captain nodded grimly. "Then we'd best get it back to the Endeavour before anyone else catches wind of our discovery. Plot a course for the Galactic Council. They'll need to be informed of this immediately." As the Endeavour's engines roared to life, carrying the precious cargo away from the asteroid field, Taylor couldn't shake the feeling that they had just opened a Pandora's box. The human device was no mere relic. It was a power beyond their comprehension, one that could change the fate of the galaxy forever. And she knew that their mission had only just begun. The Endeavour dropped out of warp at the edge of the Galactic Council's gleaming headquarters, its massive structure dominating the skyline. As the ship docked, Dr. Amanda Taylor and the captain made their way to the council chambers, carrying with them the precious cargo, the legendary human artifact. The council chamber was a cavernous space filled with the hushed murmurs of the assembled alien delegates. Taylor could feel the weight of their expectant gazes as she and the captain approached the central dais. "Honored members of the Galactic Council," the captain began, his voice clear and confident. We come before you with a discovery of the utmost importance, one that may forever change the course of our galaxy." He gestured to the containment field that hovered beside them, revealing the strange, ancient structure within. A hush fell over the chamber as the delegates leaned forward, their eyes widening with a mixture of awe and trepidation. This artifact, known only in whispers as the Human, was recovered by my crew during a routine survey mission. Our chief science officer, Dr. Amanda Taylor, believes it to be a technological marvel of unparalleled power, a relic from a long-extinct alien civilization. Taylor stepped forward, her expression earnest. "Honorable counselors, the energy signatures we've detected from this device defy all known scientific principles. Its very existence challenges everything we thought we knew about the history of our galaxy. We believe it holds the key to unlocking secrets that have been lost for millennia." A murmur of disbelief rippled through the chamber, and Taylor could see the skepticism etched on the faces of the delegates. One of the council's senior members, a gray-furred Voraxi, rose from his seat, his voice dripping with disdain. "You expect us to believe this Human is anything more than a fairy tale? For centuries, the Galactic Council has heard tales of this mythical weapon, and every single one has proven to be nothing more than the fanciful imaginings of desperate explorers." He cast a contemptuous glance at the artifact. "This is no different. You've wasted our time, Captain, with your wild claims and unsubstantiated evidence." Taylor felt her heart sink as the chamber erupted in a chorus of agreement. She had anticipated skepticism, but the outright dismissal of their findings stung. Glancing at the captain, she saw the same determination in his eyes, and she knew they couldn't back down now. "Honorable counselors, I understand your skepticism, but I assure you, the evidence is irrefutable," the captain said, his voice firm. "This artifact is unlike anything we've ever encountered, and we believe it holds the potential to revolutionize our understanding of the galaxy's history and technology. We're asking for the opportunity to investigate it further, under the Council's supervision, of course." The Voraxi counselor sneered. "Investigate? And what, pray tell, do you hope to accomplish? Unleash some ancient power that could devastate our worlds? No, the prudent course of action is to destroy this Human before it can cause any more trouble." Taylor's eyes widened in horror. "Destroy it? You can't be serious. This is a priceless relic, a window into a lost civilization. The knowledge we could gain from studying it." "Enough," the Voraxi counselor thundered, silencing her with a raised hand. "The council has heard enough. We will deliberate on this matter and inform you of our decision. In the meantime, the artifact will remain in our custody." As the counselor's words echoed through the chamber, Taylor felt a growing sense of dread. The fate of the Human device now rested in the hands of a council that seemed determined to dismiss its significance. She knew they had to convince the delegates, no matter the cost, for the sake of their mission and the future of the galaxy. The Galactic Council's decision had been reached, and Dr. Amanda Taylor's heart sank as she listened to the verdict. Despite the Endeavour crew's impassioned pleas, the Council had voted to confiscate the Human artifact and limit further investigation. "The risks are simply too great," the Voraxi counselor had declared, his voice dripping with finality. "This Human technology is an unpredictable and potentially devastating relic. We cannot afford to let it fall into the wrong hands." As the Endeavour prepared to depart, Taylor approached the captain, her expression fraught with concern. "Sir, we can't just give up. The knowledge we could uncover from that artifact, it could change the course of galactic history. We have to convince them to let us continue our mission." The captain's brow was furrowed, his gaze distant. "I understand your frustration, Doctor, but the Council has made their decision. They're unwilling to take the risk, and we can't defy their authority." He placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "However, they've agreed to allow a small, specialized team to investigate the artifact's origins under the Council's close supervision." Taylor's eyes widened. "You mean we're going to be part of that team?" The captain nodded. Yes, you and a few of your top researchers. But the journey will be perilous. The Council is sending us to the uncharted edge of the galaxy, where the human artifact is rumored to have originated. Taylor felt a surge of both excitement and trepidation. The Forbidden Zone. That region is virtually unexplored, rife with hazards and unknown dangers. Are they truly willing to risk a mission there, just to study this relic? It seems they have little choice, the captain said grimly. They're willing to take the gamble, but only with a small, specialized team. The rest of the fleet will remain behind, ready to extract us if necessary. As the Endeavour navigated the treacherous hyperspace currents, Taylor pored over the limited data they had on the Forbidden Zone. Navigational anomalies, intense cosmic storms, and reports of unexplained phenomena. It was a region shrouded in mystery and peril. How are we supposed to find anything meaningful in that chaos? She muttered, frustration evident in her voice. The captain placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. I have faith in you and your team, Doctor. If anyone can uncover the secrets of the human artifact, it's you. Taylor nodded, her expression stealing with determination. Then we'll just have to be the ones to prove the Council wrong. This is our chance to unlock the mysteries of the past and shape the future of the galaxy. As the Endeavour approached the edge of the Forbidden Zone, Taylor felt a palpable sense of unease. The sensor readings were erratic, and the ship's systems struggled to maintain a stable course. Captain, we're encountering intense turbulence and navigational anomalies. I'm detecting unusual energy signatures. It's as if the very fabric of space is being distorted. The captain's knuckles tightened on the armrests of his chair. Helm, full evasive maneuvers. Prepare the specialized survey team for immediate deployment. We're about to enter the unknown. Taylor glanced out the viewport, her gaze fixed on the swirling, chaotic maelstrom that lay ahead. Whatever secrets the Forbidden Zone held, she knew they were about to uncover them, for better or for worse. The Endeavour lurched and shuddered as it pushed deeper into the Forbidden Zone, its specialized survey team bracing themselves against the turbulent currents of distorted space. Dr. Amanda Taylor gripped the edge of her console, her knuckles white, as she studied the erratic sensor readings. Captain, the further we penetrate, the more unstable the spatial anomalies become. I'm detecting gravitational distortions, electromagnetic interference, and, she paused, her brow furrowing in concern, energy signatures that defy all known physical principles. The captain's jaw tightened. Helm, maintain course, but keep our shields at maximum. Whatever's out there, we need to be prepared. As the Endeavour pushed on, the crew felt a growing sense of unease. The blackness of space seemed to press in on them, the distant stars flickering and distorting as if the very fabric of reality was being strained. Suddenly, the ship shuddered violently, alarms blaring. Captain, we've lost navigation and propulsion systems, the helmsman cried. We're being pulled in by some kind of gravitational vortex. Taylor's fingers flew across her console, her eyes widening with a mixture of wonder and dread. It's a planet, Captain. A massive, isolated world, unlike anything we've ever encountered. The energy readings are off the charts. This must be the origin point of the human artifact. The captain gripped the armrests of his chair, his face tense. Helm, divert all available power to the engines. We need to break free of this pull before we're drawn in. But the Endeavour's engines strained against the inexorable force, their roar echoing through the bridge as the ship hurtled towards the distant planet. Taylor braced herself, her heart pounding, as the crew prepared for the worst. With a final, shuddering lurch, the Endeavour broke free of the gravitational vortex, careening into the upper atmosphere of the mysterious world. Taylor peered out the viewport, her breath catching in her throat. Sprawling beneath them was a vast, abandoned city, its towering structures and sweeping architecture unlike anything she had ever seen. There was an unnatural symmetry to the layout, as if the entire settlement had been designed with a singular grand purpose in mind. By the stars, the captain murmured. What is this place? Taylor's fingers danced across her console, analyzing the data streaming in from the ship's sensors. I'm not sure. The architecture, the materials, the energy signatures, it's all completely foreign to us. This place was built by a civilization far beyond our own understanding. The captain's gaze hardened. Assemble the survey team. We need to get boots on the ground and uncover whatever secrets this planet holds. If the human artifact truly originated here, then we may be on the verge of the most significant discovery in the history of our galaxy. As the Endeavor's specialized team prepared for their descent, Taylor couldn't shake the growing sense of unease. Something about this place felt unnatural, almost ominous. The longer they remained, the more she feared they were treading upon ground that was not meant to be disturbed. But with the promise of unlocking the secrets of the legendary human device, she knew there was no turning back. Steeling her resolve, she joined the captain and his team, ready to venture into the heart of this ancient, enigmatic world. As the specialized survey team descended upon the alien world, Dr. Amanda Taylor felt a growing sense of unease. The city below them was unlike anything she had ever seen, its towering structures and sweeping architecture seemingly sculpted from a single cohesive material. There was an unsettling symmetry to the layout, as if every element had been designed with a grand unified purpose. Sensors are detecting massive energy readings emanating from the city's central structures, one of the team members reported. The power output is off the charts. It's like nothing I've ever encountered before. Taylor nodded, her brow furrowed in concentration. Yes, and the signatures are becoming increasingly unstable the closer we approach. We need to proceed with extreme caution. As the shuttle descended, the team gazed in awe at the intricate details and patterns that adorned the city's buildings. Taylor couldn't help but wonder what kind of civilization had created this place, and what had become of them. Suddenly, a deep rumbling shook the ground beneath them, and a series of blaring alarms echoed through the shuttle's interior. Taylor gripped the edge of her seat, her heart pounding. "What's happening?" the captain demanded, his voice tense. "I'm not sure, but the energy readings are spiking rapidly," Taylor replied, her fingers flying across her console. "It's as if the city's systems are activating." The shuttle jolted as it touched down, and the team quickly disembarked, weapons at the ready. Taylor led the way, her eyes scanning the unfamiliar landscape for any sign of danger. As they ventured deeper into the city, the alarms grew louder, and the ground continued to tremble. Towering structures began to shift and transform, massive panels sliding open to reveal glowing conduits and pulsing energy fields. "What is this place?" one of the team members breathed, his voice tinged with awe and terror. Taylor shook her head, her mind racing. "I don't know, but it's clear we've triggered some kind of dormant defense system. We need to find the source of the energy signatures and shut it down before." Her words were cut short as a deafening roar echoed through the city, a booming voice that seemed to reverberate through the very fabric of reality. "Intruders detected. Engaging defensive protocols." The ground shuddered, and massive structures began to shift and unfold, revealing towering, sentient machines that surged towards the survey team. Taylor's eyes widened in horror as she recognized the unmistakable silhouette of the legendary human artifact, but transformed into a colossal, menacing weapon. "Fall back," the captain yelled, his team already scattering for cover. "We need to get back to the shuttle and—" His words were drowned out by the earth-shaking rumble of the massive machines as they advanced, their weapons charging with an ominous hum. Taylor felt a chill run down her spine as she realized the true nature of the human device. It was not merely a technological marvel, but a weapon of unimaginable power, created by a civilization that had long since vanished. As the team scrambled to evade the attacking machines, Taylor knew they had to find a way to disable the city's defenses before they were overwhelmed. But deep down, She feared that they had awakened something far more ancient and dangerous than they could ever have imagined. The Endeavor's survey team scattered as the massive, sentient machines surged towards them, their weapons charging with a deafening hum. Dr. Amanda Taylor ducked behind the crumbling remains of a once grand structure, her heart pounding. "We need to get back to the shuttle and warn the rest of the fleet," the captain shouted, his voice barely audible over the chaos. "Those things are unlike anything we've ever encountered." Taylor nodded, her mind racing. "Agreed, but we can't just abandon this place. If the human artifact is truly the source of their power, we have to find a way to disable it before it's too late." The ground shook as one of the colossal machines stomped closer, its swiveling head scanning the area for its prey. Taylor gripped her weapon tightly, knowing that their conventional armaments were woefully outmatched. "Any ideas, Doctor?" the captain asked, his voice tense. Taylor's gaze darted around the ruined cityscape, searching for anything that could give them an advantage. Then her eyes widened with a glimmer of hope. "The energy conduits," she exclaimed. "If we can disrupt the flow of power to those machines, it might be enough to give us an opening." The captain nodded, his expression grim. "Then that's what we'll have to do. On my mark, we make a run for those conduits. The rest of the team will provide cover fire." Taylor steadied her nerves, knowing that their chances of survival were slim. But with the fate of the galaxy hanging in the balance, she couldn't afford to back down now. "Ready," the captain said, his fingers tightening on his weapon. "Mark." The team surged forward, their weapons blazing as they charged towards the glowing conduits that snaked across the city. The massive machines swiveled to track their movement, their weapons unleashing devastating salvos of energy that tore through the crumbling structures around them. Taylor ducked and weaved, her breath coming in ragged gasps as she closed the distance to the nearest conduit. Gripping her weapon in one hand, she reached out with the other, her fingers scrabbling at the pulsing energy flow. Come on," she muttered, her teeth gritted in concentration. With a sudden surge of effort, she managed to disrupt the conduit, unleashing a shower of sparks and causing the nearby machine to stagger and falter. Seizing the opportunity, the captain and the rest of the team poured in a barrage of fire, targeting the machine's vulnerable joints and sensors. Crying out in a deep, rumbling roar, the machine collapsed, its massive frame crashing to the ground with a thunderous impact. Taylor felt a surge of triumph, but the victory was short-lived as the remaining machines turned their attention towards her and her comrades. "We can't hold them off much longer," the captain shouted, his voice laced with desperation. "We need to pull back and regroup with the fleet. They're the only ones who might have a chance against these things." Taylor's heart sank, knowing that their mission was in jeopardy. They had come so far, only to be pushed back by the sheer power of the city's defenses. But with no other choice, the team began a fighting retreat, their weapons blazing as they made a desperate dash for the waiting shuttle. As they fled, Taylor spared one last glance towards the towering, menacing machines that guarded the heart of the city. She knew that the secrets of the human artifact were still out there, waiting to be uncovered, and she vowed that they would return, no matter the cost, to unravel the mysteries of this ancient, forgotten civilization. The Endeavor's battered shuttle limped back towards the ship, its occupants battered and bruised from their harrowing encounter with the city's towering machine defenses. Dr. Amanda Taylor stared ahead, her mind racing as she replayed the events in her mind. "We were so close," she murmured, her voice tinged with frustration. "If only we had more time, more resources." The captain placed a hand on her shoulder, his expression grim. "We did what we could, Doctor. Now, we need to regroup and come up with a plan to take those things down." Taylor nodded, her resolve hardening. "Agreed. But we can't just retreat now, not when we're this close to unlocking the secrets of the human artifact." As the shuttle docked with the Endeavor, the crew sprang into action, their faces etched with a mixture of concern and determination. Taylor caught the eye of one of her top researchers, a young woman named Lyra. "Lyra, I need you to analyze every bit of data we collected from that city. There has to be a weakness, some way to disable those machines before they overrun us." Lyra nodded, her expression serious. "I'll get started right away, Doctor. We won't let this mission fail, not after how far we've come." While Lyra and the research team set to work, Taylor joined the captain on the bridge, her brow furrowed in concentration. "Captain, we can't afford to pull out now. If the human artifact is truly the source of those machines' power, we have to find a way to neutralize it. Otherwise, the Galactic Council will never be safe from their wrath." The captain sighed, his gaze troubled. "I understand, Doctor, but the risks are too great. We're outmatched, and the rest of the fleet won't be able to reach us in time." Taylor's eyes narrowed. "Then we'll just have to even the odds. I have an idea, but it's going to require a bold and dangerous gambit." Before the captain could respond, a warning klaxon blared, and the ship shuddered violently. Taylor's eyes widened as she saw the reason for the alarm. The massive, sentient machines from the city were surging towards the Endeavor, their weapons blazing. "They've broken through the planet's atmosphere," the helmsman cried. "Shields are failing, Captain." The captain gripped the edge of his console, his knuckles white. "All hands, brace for impact." As the machines closed in, Taylor knew that their only chance lay in the plan she had formulated. Turning to the captain, she placed a hand on his arm, her expression resolute. "Captain, I need a team of our best and brightest. We're going back down there, and we're going to end this once and for all." The captain's eyes widened, but before he could protest, Taylor was already moving, rallying the volunteers who would join her on this perilous mission. She knew the risks were high, but the fate of the galaxy hung in the balance. As the shuttle prepared for launch, Taylor spared one last glance at the Endeavor, her heart heavy with the knowledge that she might not return. But with a deep breath, she steeled her resolve and stepped aboard, ready to confront the ancient power that threatened to consume them all. The Endeavor rocked violently as the massive machines bore down upon it, their devastating energy weapons pummeling the ship's failing shields. Lyra's fingers flew across her console, her eyes narrowed in concentration as she studied the reams of data collected from the alien city. "There has to be a way to shut them down," she muttered, her frustration evident. "The human artifact must be the key, but I can't find a weakness in their defenses." The captain gripped the edge of his chair, his knuckles white. "Where's that shuttle? Damn it. We can't hold out much longer." As if in answer to his plea, a flash of light appeared on the view screen, and the battered shuttle emerged from the planet's atmosphere, its engines straining. Lyra's eyes widened as she detected the familiar biosignatures aboard. "Captain, it's Dr. Taylor and the team. They're returning to the city, but..." Her voice trailed off, and the captain's expression darkened. "But what, Lieutenant?" Lyra's gaze was filled with a mixture of awe and dread. The energy readings from the city, they're spiking to unprecedented levels. It's as if the machines are drawing power directly from the human artifact. The captain cursed under his breath. "Then we have to get them out of there, before..." His words were cut short as the shuttle disappeared in a blinding flash of light, swallowed by a massive surge of energy emanating from the city below. Lyra's fingers flew across her console, her face a mask of horror. "Captain, the shuttle. It's gone. The entire city is collapsing in on itself, and the energy readings are off the charts. We have to get out of here now." The captain's jaw tightened, his expression one of profound grief. "Helm, get us out of here. Maximum warp now." As the Endeavor's engines roared to life, the crew watched in stunned silence as the alien city crumbled, its towering structures imploding in a cataclysmic display of power. Lyra's eyes were filled with tears, her voice barely above a whisper. "Dr. Taylor, the whole team, they're gone." The captain placed a hand on her shoulder, his own eyes glistening. "They knew the risks, Lieutenant, but their sacrifice will not be in vain." In the days that followed, the Endeavor's crew grappled with the weight of their discovery and the devastating losses they had suffered. The Galactic Council, once so skeptical of their findings, now listened with rapt attention as Lyra and the others pieced together the fragments of data they had managed to salvage. The human artifact was not merely a technological marvel, Lyra explained, her voice solemn. It was the power source, the very foundation upon which the city and its defenses were built. When Dr. Taylor and the team attempted to disable it, they inadvertently triggered a chain reaction that caused the entire system to collapse in on itself. The Voraxi counselor, his expression grave, nodded slowly. Then the risk was even greater than we had imagined. This human technology was not just a weapon, but a device capable of rewriting the very laws of the universe. Lyra's gaze hardened, and the knowledge we've gained from this mission will ensure that no one ever wields that power again. The cost has been high, but the legacy of Dr. Taylor and her team will live on, as a testament to the boundless potential and the unimaginable dangers of the galaxy's most ancient secrets. As the Endeavor charted a course back to familiar space, the crew knew that their mission, and the memory of those they had lost, would forever shape the future of the galaxy. The legend of the human had been unraveled, but its true power would remain locked away, a cautionary tale of the perils that awaited those who dared to disturb the slumbering giants of the past.